Okay, here we are back again. Oh my goodness. Chris has been on the show before, Chris Tro. He's a Rotarian and actually started a foundation. He's done all sorts of great things, but he's involved with the Class Afloat. And we're going to let Chris tell us a little bit about Class Afloat to get the picture started, and then we're going to talk about these wonderful participants. Chris, take it away. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes. So I am a Rotarian, but then I also got involved with something called Class Afloat. And just to set the scene here, I'll give you some background about what Class Afloat is. It's a school and students there are in grades 11, 12, and first year college. And the campus, in this case, is a 3-masted sailing ship that sails the Atlantic Ocean and visits 4 continents and roughly 12 cities in about a dozen countries. So it's quite an experience. And there's about 60 kids on the ship who can be from just about anywhere in the world. Most of them are from North America, but there are certainly people from as far away as the Orient. And the school is not about learning to sail. The school is about...
But they have to do that, don't they? They have to kind of learn a little bit.
Participate in the sailing aspect of it.
And Cody's been on one, so we're going to get that from Cody.
Yep, and climbing the mast is an optional thing. You know, that's one of the
Sounds
adventure
like
things
fun.
you can do or not do. But there's the opportunity to do that. And so the school is about life experience, leadership, and adventure in addition to your regular studies for the courses that you're taking on the school.
What kind of courses would they take there?
Grade 11, grade 12, and
so you're actually taking academic courses?
Yeah, it's regular.
Okay.
Yes, and the kids who are on there for grade 11 and 12 are working pretty hard because they're trying to get their the school studies done.
So
as well.
they get credit for these courses, which
yes.
goes towards their graduation.
That's right, and same for the university students. They take courses, and it's distance learning for the university students. So when they get into port, then they communicate with the professor via the internet, and a lot of their materials are electronically based. Mm-hmm. And so just to jump forward now to how I got involved with this greater level. My son was on the ship in the 2013-2014 year.
And you brought him on the show.
And he was on the show, and I was very impressed by the adventure, the whole thing. My son and I both just enjoyed it so much, the adventure and the excitement, and particularly for being a parent. That's just great to be able to be involved with this kind of thing. And so I began thinking about what a great opportunity it was and how it might be nice if there was an opportunity that was extended to kids who might otherwise not be able to afford
because
to
they
go
do
on
charge for this, obviously.
Yeah, and it's just such a great experience. So I started thinking about getting a foundation, and a long story short, at this point now I have a foundation formed, and I formed a foundation in conjunction with a number of alumni from the Class Afloat program. These would be students who had graduated earlier, some of them a decade ago, and some of the parents. And so we have the foundation formed. The people who are on the board in the foundation are right across the United States.
Is this a pretty popular program in this area? I mean, do a lot of the students, because we got 3 here. That seems like a lot for, a program that only has 60 kids and 3 of them from our area. So we're going to talk with each of them too.
Yes, okay, and most of them, it's been primarily focused in Canada, so it's better known in Canada and less known here, and that's one of the things I'd like to try and do is make it better known in the United States. And so anyway, at this point now with the foundation, we've got 3 students, and you see them here, and I'm going to introduce them in a minute. Just quickly, I wanted to give some acknowledgement to something, an organization, a local organization called Sponsor a Scholar, and one of our students is a Sponsor a Scholar graduate. Sponsor a Scholar is a program that helps high school students get tuition and stuff through their high school years, and I've connected with them to find my scholars that I'm going to give a scholarship to for Class Afloat.
And the schools are pretty receptive to this, right? Is that correct? I mean,
well,
because the school has
learning
to,
out there. We're getting
they have to agree to participate that these kids can take these courses. Is that to be part of?
Well, no. We were offering scholarships, so it's really up to the student and the school's participation in it would be to make it available so that their students can see that such a scholarship exists.
Exists, exactly.
Okay, and Sponsor a Scholar, I have a particular relationship with them because they're going to help me find scholars who are deserving and meet the academic criteria.
I'd like to go to Cody here.
So let's introduce some of our students here.
Go ahead if you want to introduce. I was going to just.
Right.
I was going to start out with Cody.
All right. Well, Cody Nguyen is my first Class Afloat graduate. He's a graduate of Scotia Glenville High School, and I met Cody through some very good family friends, Ed and Linda Namowitz. So let me give the mic to
Cody.
Cody.
So Cody, tell me now. You've been on one of these sails.
Yes, I have.
And tell me what your experience was, because had you ever been on a tall sailing ship before?
No, actually, it was it was my second time out in the ocean, but this was for a longer period of time. First time was on a fishing trip, so it wasn't really.
How
out
was
there
your
for a couple
trip?
hours.
Did you, I mean, was it kind of like, because you met a lot of people you did not know.
Yeah, at first it was overwhelming because you're meeting a lot of people you don't know, and when I got on second semester, so a lot of the students already formed relationships and they were friends with everyone, so I was getting on not knowing anyone, and they knew each other already, so at first it was a little overwhelming, but after a while everything fell into place and it was good. I really enjoyed it, so.
Yeah, so you
in-
learned how to sail too.
Yeah, I did. For the most part, there's still a couple things I need to work on, but there's a lot to learn, so.
So you're doing it twice, which is really a pretty amazing that you can get to do it twice.
Yeah.
And we'll go to our next guest, who's sitting right next to me, and that would be Megan. Megan, tell me how you got involved.
Well, Cody and I have, we
You're
actually
friends.
dated. Well, yeah, I guess for a pretty long time now. And so when Chris presented this idea to Cody, Cody and I, were around each other quite often. And so Chris then came around kind of quite often. And so we established our connection through that. And I mean, Chris, he's amazing. And he constantly surprises me. And this was probably the biggest one that he could have given me, was the opportunity to go. And it was just kind of weird being able to go with someone that I know. And then
So you're all going on the same one.
Yeah.
And Michaela will be talking with you in a moment.
Yeah, but it was just kind of crazy how now I get to travel with one of my best friends since elementary school, because she was in the Sponsor Scholar program and Chris just randomly chose her, and so I feel like I've already, I have a piece of
Have you ever
home.
been on a tall sailing ship?
I went on this one for, a couple of times, but I didn't actually sail. I went on it because I went to go visit him in Antigua, but other than that, no.
Antigua. Oh, I love Antigua. It's
It
such
was
a beautiful
amazing.
island. Yeah. So you could actually fly in and say, "Hey, I want to say hi to you," right?
Yeah, I actually had one of my interviews on the ship itself with one of the directors. It was Bruce Middleton. He was, pretty cool.
They have parent ports that halfway through a term, there'll be a parent port. And so we attended one of the parent ports,
wonderful.
take down some clean clothes for the young
Yeah,
man
so they
here.
have a few clothes to wear.
and,
Huh? Take them home, wash them. Michaela, you are. How did you get involved? Well, I mean, obviously you got a connection there. Have you ever been on the ocean?
Not at all. I've been about 3 feet in on like vacations and stuff, but I'm actually the Sponsor Scholar graduate that Chris and Megan were talking about. So I found out about it separately, but it's also weird because I worked with Megan and Cody. I met Cody, and then Megan was my best friend, so I got her into the job, and then we ended up knowing each other, and then so we knew about the program separately, but together, and then it's just weird how it all worked out. But
Are
yeah.
you excited about this?
I'm very excited. It wasn't in the forecast for me at all. I applied to Colgate University actually, and I didn't get accepted. So
You're both graduates.
yeah.
They're
So-
graduates
They're
of
all
Schenectady.
graduates.
These are
Yeah.
graduates of Schenectady High
Yeah.
School and Cody, Scotia.
Yeah.
Scotia Glenville.
But I wasn't planning on this at all. I was applying to colleges still even the day before I found out about it. And then my guidance counselor who met Chris at a banquet for Sponsor Scholar was like, hey, do you want to travel abroad? And I was like, yeah, let's find out about it. And little did
I'll
I
go to
know.
Paris
Yeah.
for the weekend,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I thought. It was like maybe like a couple months in like Europe or something. But no, just spending 9 months on a tall ship with 60 other students. It's a little different than what I imagined, but it's definitely great.
To me, one of the strangest things would be food. I mean, because, well, I guess they do go into ports of call to get fresh food. I mean, what was the food like?
It was good.
He's a great chef. He cooked on the ship. for a little
Yeah,
bit.
one day they let the students take over where they pretty much did everything. They maneuvered, they cooked, we clean all the time. Every day you clean, so you do have routines in which you do every day. But the food was really good. In port, I like to try different foods, so I was more adventurous than other students.
So when you went into port, you could get off the ship and then...
Depending on what time you got into port, like the first day, say you arrived at noontime, you wouldn't be able to get off the ship until 3, 4 o'clock because classes still are going on
Right.
until then. And then after that time, you are allowed to leave until about 10 or 11 o'clock, depending on where we were, because some cities were more dangerous than others at night.
Yeah. Well, and
So-
they had to protect you guys.
Yeah.
Tell
and
me
you
about.
actually always had to be in a group of 4 so that you were always.
Oh, you were with a group.
Yeah, so
always.
so that you. Yeah, so you
I
don't
like
get
that.
lost and you don't get hurt or whatever. Say
And
you
if
get
one
hurt,
gets crazy, the other 3 will hold
yeah,
them down, right?
if one person gets hurt, one person will stay with them, and then 2 others will go get help. So that, yeah.
Not that it would ever happen.
No.
Tell me about the classes. I mean, because are you in a classroom or do you sit on the deck? What happens?
Well, some classes are actually on the deck. You can sit on the deck, depending on where we are, because sometimes it's rougher, the seas. But for the most part, you're on the inside where like you have your meal periods, you're eating. That's where the classes attend. There's little curtains that separate the classrooms. So math can be right here, and then there'll be a curtain, and then there'll be a science class, and then another curtain, and then there'll be an English class. It all depends on what you take. There's not much of a selection for college and university students, but you can still take, high school courses on the ship, just a, refresher.
AP classes,
Yeah.
maybe sort of like.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exciting. So what are you girls deciding to take, or have you made any decisions?
I'm taking physics, the astrology aspect of it, because like you're under the
Oh,
stars.
you're right there under
Yeah.
the stars.
Yeah, I'm taking that both
And
semesters.
you can say, wait, they're not heading in the right direction now.
Both semesters. There's what were the other ones that we just?
Marine biology.
Marine biology, communications,
See,
sociology,
these are courses that work
psychology.
very well on top of the
Yeah.
psychology, especially because when
Yeah.
you're starting.
There's like a leadership course where they kind of teach you how to establish yourself and control situations and stuff. There's a few other
Yeah,
ones.
I'm stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit because I'm not really the best in like science and math, stuff like that. So I am taking the marine biology and astrology and all those courses I might as well, if I'm going to go out of my comfort zone, just go way out.
Go way out. Well, you may find that is, unless you're exposed to it, you really don't know what you're going to end up liking, because it's one of those things that you go, well, sometimes you just have to go out of your comfort zone and just have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Chris, how long are you going to stay involved in this? It looks like you've made a commitment here.
Life's work here.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting. I'm enjoying it. It's great to be around young people and have an excuse to travel to some country and visit them and just watch them also.
Do you have a secret desire to get on one of those ships?
Well, I'm not so sure. I probably get seasick, but yeah.
Well, I've thought
maybe
about.
if you're in the Caribbean somewhere, I might. But.
Yeah, I've thought about that because I was on a ship just from Florida to Puerto Rico, and oh my gosh, I don't know what was going on in the water, but I did not feel well.
Yeah.
But they say the bigger the ship, the less you have a problem.
And you do adjust. A lot of people
Yeah.
initially, if you're
Don't
just
look
on
at
there
the
for a day
horizon.
or
Is
so,
that what they
then-
say you're supposed
Yeah,
to?
it takes
Yeah.
a day or two, and you can adjust to it.
Yeah, so it'll be cool. You'll have stories to tell your grandkids, I'm sure.
And lots of pictures.
And lots of pictures, but I think you're going to have made a lot of lifelong friends that you might not have ever met or known about, and you're going to have some wonderful friendships and places to visit that you didn't even know about, right?
That's a very big part. Yes.
Yeah, I want to thank you all for being here today. What a wonderful program it is. And I truly envy you all for being able to get out there and do that. It just sounds like a wonderful adventure, and it's one you'll remember forever, I'm sure. Thanks, Chris, for making this all happen.
Oh,
At least promoting it. Yeah.